it's me, it's PMFM, and I alluded to this a little bit in my last video, but I want to talk about it more in this video. It looks like I'm going to be a substitute teacher this year. It looks like my job hunt this summer has been unsuccessful. And I guess I just want to talk about that, about acknowledging that failure. You know, this is a blog that's really ultimately for myself, a way for me to look back on things and see where I was, where I'm going, that kind of thing. And so it's important to document the failures as well as the successes. But I also think for the public aspect of this vlog, it's also important to document the failures because it's easy to document the successes. And it creates the Facebook effect where you judge yourself based on everybody else's best moments, the moments that they choose to share. And if you're judging your life based on a comparison between what you know goes on every day in your life and the highlight reel that you're seeing of other people's lives on Facebook, you're never gonna look as good as they do. And so I think it's important for me to say that I failed. I failed to find a job this summer. I'm not going to let that discourage me from continuing to look for work, continuing to try to become a teacher, but I did fail. I'm an incredibly stubborn person, and admitting that failure was difficult for me. I waited way too long to begin to apply to be a substitute teacher, and then the application process took longer than I thought. And so the school year has started, and I am not available to be a substitute teacher at this moment. And it looks like I'm not going to be available for at least another week, which means I very well may not get a paycheck this month. This is me basing that estimate based on how Kent, where I used to work as a substitute, paid. They paid for the last 2 weeks of the previous month and the first 2 weeks of that month, and they paid at the end of that month. And if that's the case, I may not be working until the last 2 weeks of this month, which means that I won't get paid until next month. And that's a little bit terrifying. I'll be fine. I've put away enough in savings. I was very careful this year to build up my savings after it got pretty depleted. I'm not going to be out on the street. I'm not going to have to go begging friends or family for money. I am going to be selling off some things, and I think my next video I will want to talk about that a little bit more. I want to document one of the things that I'm planning to sell off, which is a top that means a lot to me, just because tops are a weird thing that I love, and this one is made out of especially, not necessarily rare materials, although somewhat rare, but mostly just materials that are very difficult to work with, and this was made by one of the best craftsmen making tops. I'll talk about that more in the next video, but I'm also going to be selling off my old Warhammer models, which I've needed to sell off. Last summer I spent about a week house sitting for my parents, and I used that time to take photos of my Warhammer models, and just never actually took the time to try to sell them. I did all the prep work and then didn't do the footwork that needed to be done. I'm in the process of doing that now, trying to get them sold, get them out the door. I'm hoping to sell them to someone local so I don't have to package them up, because it's a lot of models to bubble wrap and make sure they get somewhere securely. I also have a game right here, actually, called Kingdom Death, which was a kickstarted board game-ish, kind of a board game RPG hybrid that had some Kickstarter exclusive models that are now somewhat sought after as collector's items, and I'm probably going to be selling those as well. That's not going to, recreate a paycheck for me, but it will take some of the blow off of what I'm gonna lose from my savings by not getting paid next month. In addition to all of this, I have just today found out that my debit card has to be canceled because somebody got my information and tried to make a $230 purchase with my debit card. The money never left my account. Chase, my bank, caught it in time, but they have to cancel my card, and I'm not going to get a new card for a week, maybe a week and a half. And the worst part about it, the most annoying part, is that when I created the checking account, I put my mom on it. I'm the primary, but she's the secondary, and that was in case of an emergency. It would make it easier for her to put money into my account and help me out. Unfortunately, it also means that in order to take her off, she has to be present. We both have to be there to say, hey, she's no longer on the account. And that's been difficult to do, and it makes me making any changes to that account difficult to do. And so my billing address is still my home, my childhood home where my parents live. So my debit card is going to get mailed about an hour's drive north of me. And when it finally gets there, my mom will give me a call and I will go visit. But it's annoying. It might mean, if I am subbing by then, to take a day off work. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing okay. I'm actually kind of surprised by how not stressed I am about this. I'm just working through it, and it'll be fine. But this next year is going to be a little bit less fulfilling. That's how I feel about subbing. It's fun, and the freedom that it gives me is fantastic. I get to take days off whenever I want, but you don't get to see the same kids every day, and seeing the growth of your students is really what makes teaching worth it. It'll be fine. I enjoyed my time subbing before. I'll enjoy it again. So future me, you've had another year under your belt. Did you get any cool experiences from subbing this last year? Maybe any long-term work? And hopefully by this time next summer you have a job. That's really the goal, to hopefully have a job full-time before the summer even hits, to hopefully get one near the end of the next year. Did you succeed?